Iberian Union is what I'm going to be playing today, because it's the next country. Finally not doing a freaking, what's it called? A Soviet or a Russian Civil War state, finally. I was actually going to do Irkutsk, but then I was like, wait, this country's outside of this Russian Civil War ones. I could better check if there's any ones that I can do. And there's a few, I believe. Yeah, this and then Indonesia. Oh wait, no, I'll be playing these. I almost messed up again. So I'll be playing the government Taro del Levant. Governor Carl Alberto Dalla Chelsea is a man whose meteoric career left many stunned and many more envious. A decorated veteran of World War II, Dalla Chisia asked to be transferred from the Rigo Esercito to the Carabinieri to follow the footsteps of his father, himself a general of the Carabinieri. After the end of the war, he was assigned to the newly acquired Italian territories in the Levant, where he demonstrated his skill and valor in the investigations and repression of the various terrorist and paramilitary groups that plagued the region. As arrest followed arrest, he quickly rose through the ranks of the Canabari and noticed by Calazo Sino. I'm so sorry, by the way. You heard me butcher Russian names for past whatever many videos. Now you're about to hear me butcher freaking Italian names. I'm so sorry. When it was time to assign a new governor to the Levant, the new Duce, is it Duce, right? Or is that Deuce? Instead of picking another old fascist, it is Duce. I didn't know that's how it was spelled. Picked the young general as successor. This choice was controversial, as it was well known that Dalla Chelsea has little sympathy for fascism, but in his yet short tenure, the Canberra general managed to bring a semblance of peace to the Levant, even if he had to use unorthodox methods. Rome expected results, and that is what Dalla Chelsea. I'm gonna look up how to pronounce his name. 1 second. Chiesa is how you say his name. Has little sympathy for fascism. Blah 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 blah. Dalla Chiesa gave them. Extremists, insurgent groups were targeted by repression, while a semblance of a truce was brokered among those who were willing to negotiate. However, the fate of the Levant still hangs in the balance. To Dalla Chiesa, it is clear Italian rule over the region isn't going to last, and some type of agreement between Italy and the many peoples of the Levant has to be found unless the area is to be thrown again into chaos. The Canberra governor has managed to return something resembling peace to the Levant. How long that will last is still to be seen. Oh my goodness, holy yappy for me. When the Italian, this basically just says he negotiated between the groups that were getting rowdy there in the Levant, which are Muslims Arabs and Zionists, Jews. And the only true threat around here is Turkey. But they're in our alliance for right now, so we're good. I picked the wrong country. 1 second. Okay, so there is content. It's just there's no content in the recent patch. But I'm playing the one that added all the old stuff that they got rid of. That was either buggy or didn't fall into their stuff they liked, I guess. So, yeah. Be good. What the fuck? This is the guns look so different from the Russian stuff. Well, I'll cut to you until there's something actually interesting happening. Just chilling in the Levant right now. The government of the Levant. The grand dreams of colonialism and an imperial Italy seemed so close to becoming reality. In the aftermath of the Second World War, the tricolor waved over the defeated British forts as the victorious Regio Esquerito, looking up this word, Ejercito, advanced in the Middle East. I guess it just means army. After Egypt, Palestine soon fell as the British bled under the Italian eagle. When Italian troops entered Jerusalem, Rome's propaganda took no time to paint the triumph as the mighty echo of an ancient past. The glorious legions that once brought order and peace to Judea under Vespasian and Trajan have now returned to Palestine, led by Benito Mussolini, the Caesar of our age. Of course, reality was much different, and its taste much more bitter. Native resistance to Italian occupation was strong, and the more the Italian Empire spread far and wide on the map, the more its forces were stretched thin on the ground. Fascist plans to turn the Levant into a loyal and Italian province of the empire by assimilating the natives were soon canned, as opposition to Italy was one of the few things capable of uniting the various ethnic, religious, and cultural groups in the region. Projects to resettle the Levant with Italians never left the drawing board, as the people of the peninsula preferred the much safer lands of the Fourth Shore, and after years of endless cycles of revolt and repression, the new Duce, Galeazzo Sino, in his bid to resolve the many elements of the empire, finally decided that a new course of action was necessary. Enter Carlo Alberto dalla Chiesa. In the Duce's eyes, the young general of the Carabinieri had three characteristics that made him especially fit for the position of governor: efficiency demonstrated in his relatively short but dashing career, lack of sympathy for fascist rhetoric, and most of all, a complete lack of involvement or interest in politics. Since the beginning of Dalla Chiesa's tenure, a semblance of order returned to the Levant, with the new governor agreeing to allow autonomy and a moderate level of freedom to those who were content with that, and focusing the efforts of his garrison on the more radical paramilitaries and resistance groups. An uneasy peace was built in the Levant, a fickle, fragile truce, built to protect the many innocent civilians of the region, whatever their religion or ethnicity, from the horrors of what could be very well an endless subterranean war. And yet peace can't last. A letter from Carame, Risavistismo, for the governor's eyes only. To Governor Dalla Chiesa in Jerusalem, from the regional Carabinieri, command in Carmec. Would you like to report, Your Excellency, that the construction of the new headquarters of Fatah in the town of Carame has been completed, and the current leader of the organization, Arafat Yasser, has taken residence in the structure as per Your Excellency's orders. A Canterbury garrison situated in the vicinities of the village, and the bridge over the river Jordan that connects the location to the West Bank is under watch for any unauthorized movements. The offer of Emir Hussein of garrisoning the bridge with soldiers from his own armed forces has been kindly declined. The loyalty of Emir Transjordan is still questionable at best, and he is still one of the main providers of funding for Fatah. However, we do not believe that any direct threats are coming from his court in Amman, as the main source of Hussein's wealth is the oil deals between Transjordan and ENI, which of course would become null and void should he break the treaties that bind him to us. At any rate, any move against the emir would surely provoke a widespread insurrection, as he enjoys widespread popularity among his subjects in Transjordan and many conservative Arabs in Palestine. Interestingly, Hussein's alliance with Arafat doesn't seem to be exactly comfortable. The two have little in common besides a somewhat shared goal of more independence from Italy. Regarding Arafat himself, basically this guy just wants full autonomy and all that, which is not really what we're going to be able to do for him. But yeah, strongly advise against any offensive action because that would just make them more angry at us. Also, they definitely got more than Hatay in this timeline. They got all of, like, Syria. Or most of it, at least. I wonder if it was, like, this is how the borders came. Or that's just how they divided up in general. Hey, and Turkey took North Turkey. It's a goober of them. I meant to say North Cyprus, not North Turkey. I'm stupid. The defense. The armored cars made their way around a dirt road, proceeding straight along. Polished shine. This is just some people saluted him. Igutsu was an ordinary, no different than other Dala Kiese had inspected in the past, all mostly concentrated around the areas where Jewish settlement was more prominent, around Tel Aviv and Haifa, and to the north near Lake Tiberias, a town hall, a school with a playground in which children chased each other and kicked a ball around, laughing and shouting, a small synagogue, rows and rows of small, clean, and orderly houses. People of all ages walked around the street of the village, busy in their daily missions. Kids. Oh, mansions? No. That's definitely mansions. I don't know. Maybe missions? Kids, the first generation native to the kibbutz, young men growing strong and healthy by working in farms and shops, and smiling elderly people hiding in their memories of the horrors they had witnessed in the past. And around the village watchtowers, barbed wire and armed Haganah soldiers stood and watched, guns at the ready. When the entire Italian Empire began to allow Jewish refugees from the Reich and the Levant, accepting the existence of Haganah was a necessary and even if unspoken part of the deal. After all, having a single self-defense organization dedicated to protecting and policing the kibbutzim was a better solution for both the Jews and the Italians, especially considering the Haganah's self-imposed policy of attacked but only defended. Bruh. I'm guessing it was probably right here. Jews. Basically, Jews, they're not going to be defenseless. And they only attack when they get attacked. So, yeah. Not for sure. Oof. Oh, so this is worse than I thought it would be. The Battle of Latrun. Truck tracks, footprints, blood, Italian soldiers running around, rifles in their hands, with officers shouting orders, women crying in the streets, boys shouting insults and spitting on the ground, while a soldier searches them, and another one points a rifle at their backs. One tries to make a run for it. Burly Regio Esercito soldiers knock. You know how to say Regio. Regio Esercito soldiers knocked him unconscious with the butt of his rifle, and two of his teeth fly away from his mouth. And in the middle of the chaos, the shouting, the crying, one man stands still, staring at the still, warm corpses covered with a white blanket. Governor Dalla Calasi. Nobody knows yet how the Irgun commando managed to reach the village of Latrun so far into Arab territory. The Carabinieri are still busy analyzing the scene, interrogating the witnesses, examining corpses. There were a few dozen, and surrounded the town at night, attacking at dawn. For Irgun, Latrun has a symbolic meaning, as it sits on the only road connecting Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. But otherwise, it's only one of the many tiny Arab villages scattered around Palestine. Perhaps this is why Irgun expected no resistance. Their commando numbered a few dozen, planned to attack at dawn, sweeping into the village and causing mayhem before the Italians or anyone else had time to react. Instead, what they found was a sleeper cell of the A&M, which had set up shop long ago in Latrun. The battle broke out immediately and devolved into house-by-house fighting. When Irgun units managed to enter the village, gunfire was heard for hours before the closest Italian division was able to encircle Latrun and mop up the remnants of the Irgun commando and the A&M fitting. Numerous civilians lost their lives in the short but violent battle. But both Irgun and A&M soldiers' casualties were extremely high, and Italian troops even managed to take prisoners from both sides, a rather rare occurrence. Ironically, a tragedy such as this proved itself helpful to Dalla Chiesa turned away and looked at the soldiers surrounding him. Something had to be done. So, shit. I'm so confused. I understand these guys attacked, but I can't remember which side is which. Who is the A&M versus Irgun? Who's Irgun? Is these guys Irgun or these guys the A&M? I don't know. Does it have a pie chart? No. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out later. As you know, Irgun, officially known as a national military organization in the land of Israel, is a clandestine paramilitary and terrorist movement operating in the entirety of the Levant. It was founded in 1931 from a small core of hardline Zionists, and it expanded slowly, absorbing smaller Zionist groups. Their ideology can be summed up in 3 points. Every Jew has the right to enter Palestine. Second, only active retaliation can stop the Arabs from encroaching on rightful Jewish land. Third, only Jewish armed forces can ensure a Jewish state. Their goal is simple, to turn the entirety of the Levant into a Jewish state. They don't claim just Palestine either. Their aims include Transjordan as well, and they're not afraid to extensively use violence against both Italian and Arab soldiers. The organization is rigid, with a well-organized military hierarchy that, and especially shadowy, they have contacts in many Kitzubim Jewish communities and Haganah units scattered around the Levant. And every single Jew in the government could potentially be a member and a supporter of Irgun. While we do know the name of some of Irgun's major leaders, including their commander, Menachem Begin, we have little actual information that would allow us to strike them precisely. They are a dangerous enemy hiding behind every corner, every stone, and they will not hesitate to pull the trigger if they have you in their sights. Dalla Chiesa stopped, and the Carabinieri generals and officers gathered in the room stood silent. Many diagrams and charts, photographs were hung up on the walls, scattered across the table in this dimly lit room as the cigarette smoke filled the air. Of course, a traditional counterinsurgency campaign would be a disaster. There is no way to tell apart an Irgun affiliate with an average Haganah soldier or even an ordinary Jew. It would be a result in a massacre and would break any goodwill existing between us and Haganah, eventually increasing Irgun's popularity among the Jew. A new tactic has to be employed. Dismissed. Bruh. So, Jewish extremists, basically. Or Zionist, not Jewish Zionist extremists. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, oh, there's an Ottoman state too. Regional de Digerio. I don't really know what path I want to go down. This one gives me, like, what's the coolest, most territory. So I don't really know. I ain't even about to try to pronounce that, bruh. Riceversimento. For the governor's eyes only. To Governor Dalla Chiesa, Jerusalem, from the Regional Carabinieri Command in Latrun. We would like to report to Your Excellency that the interrogations of the captives taken in the following events in Latrun had provided us with valuable information about the nature of the armed Palestinian resistance movements. After extensive application of persuasive interrogation methods, we have managed to learn that despite acting under a single name, the Fedayeen fighting for the Harakianin have actually no idea about the overall operational status, tactical plans, or even composition of the A&M units different from their own. This had led us to conclude that the A&M is organized in a loose and decentralized network of cells, each acting on their own and largely independent from one another. The chairman of the A&M, George Habash, is currently suspected to be hiding somewhere in the Lebanese highlands. So they're both. So the A&M is like a terrorist Arab people, and the Latrun people or whatever, those are the terrorist Zionists. How much control? Seems shaky. While nominally a communist movement, the ideological purity of the A&M seems shaky at best. When interrogated on the topic, the Latrun captives demonstrated only extremely cursory knowledge of works of Marx Engels, okay, no, so the A&M is Latrun. Okay. Okay. No, I'm just being stupid. Never mind. Anti-Italian, anti-Zion. Yeah, so the A&M, yeah, they're Arab nationalists. The other people are the... Latrun is just where it was at. I'm so fucking stupid. Oh my god. We are led to believe that the A&M is not, in fact, a single movement, but a loose coalition. Pre-existing cells, organizations united by their opposition to Italian rule in a decentralized chain of command. While apparently a weakness, this characterizes also A&M's greatest strength. Yeah, A&M's fatah captives. Yep, we get it. I get it now. I'm just a dumbass, though. I was so confused. I was like, what? Your gun is the Zionist one. Fucking hell, dude. Oh, I'm about to finally have decisions and not just spam events, dude. It's crazy. Operation Madasa. Dalla Chiesa drank the last sip of coffee, by now disgustingly lukewarm, and put the cup back on his desk. Scattered on his desk, piles of documents, reports, interrogation logs, photographs, maps, all marked down with coffee stains and pen markings, and annotations in the kibbutz near Haifa. There might be an Irgun commander disguised as a Haganah sergeant. This remote village is in Transjordan, could be located of the terrorist group A&M, its hidden arsenal. And at least a dozen different dots on the map of Palestine could be the location of the next Latrun massacre. There are many in the Levant who hate Italy and everything it stands for. But those who are willing to pick up arms fueled by hate usually hate someone else even more. Divide et impera, the Romans said, and no place is more divided than the Italian Levant. There is only one way to deal with the A&M and Irgun, and that is making them deal with each other, while at the same time making sure that the thin line protecting the civilians from the chaos always occupied by an Italian soldier. The people of the Levant will learn that we are the only hope for peace in this country. If they are able to work with us, they will hope to bring an end to the bloodshed, and God knows these lands, these people, have already seen too much blood. The governor gathered the necessary documents into a large envelope. It was a plan to ensure that the garrison could keep the Levant under control without excessive costs in money or lives. Just a few more years, many in Rome wouldn't like it, and perhaps the goons in the PNF should be left unaware of the finer details. After all, Sino would surely understand. This is for the greater good of Italian Dalla Chiesa, and closed the envelope and looked once again at the letters printed on the outside. Operation Masada. If everything has to say the same, then everything has to change. Okay. Blah. Okay, so leak information. What does this do, though? I'm gonna have to save and see. I think I'm gonna go with the maybe Palestinian path or Israeli path, because it just seems like it's probably gonna be harder, just because Levant is mostly Arab. So, but I don't know that for sure. I'm not for sure which path is gonna be harder, but I feel like it would be this one. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's not a political take. I'm a one-state solution kind of guy, though, to be fair. I just think there should be a complete, like, I just don't think the two-state solution works. I think there should be a will of the people. Everybody has the same rights. No one group favored. Like how they do in Israel. How they favor you if you're a Jewish born descent, whatever. You should all just have the same rights, basically. All under a Palestinian ruled thing, or Jewish, or just whoever gets the popular vote, in my opinion. That's how I think it should work. But I don't know. I'm not too, fully into it, because it's a little bit of colonization and stuff, but same way in America. We're built on colonialism, so I don't really know. Back then too, I feel like the Native Americans should have the right to vote. At the same time, like, I don't know. I'm not a marginalized group, so I really wouldn't know what it would be like. Bleh. Suke bleh. Well, you guys are not here to listen to me yap. You guys are listening to me read the events. Sorry about that. Dude, I'm fucking up so bad in these decisions. I'm just... You know what? I'm just gonna let it choose what I'm doing, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just clicking through stuff. Well, I was not expecting this. I don't remember them declaring war many times before that. And can I call my allies? And please say I can, because if not, I'm fucked. Save me. Oh, thank you. Can I not do any of my focus, though, now? Oh, what? I have a different path now. What the fuck? That sucks. This shit is uninteresting. But okay, fine. So I had to, kind of annex Turkey. It was the only way that, the game was letting it work. So I'm gonna see if I can... You cannot release nations in this game, can you? Fuck. Shit. I just guess I need to replay. Well, round 2. Yep, just had to get to here and then peace and out. The conference begins. Palestinian, Israeli, and Italian delegations have all convened in Jerusalem. It finally brings about peace in the Levant. Organized by the efforts of the Prime Minister, the conference is hoped to bring about a lasting solution to the numerous issues plaguing the Italian Middle East. Palestinian and Israeli tensions that have dominated society. While some have criticized this as a move for re-election, our cause is valiant, oh my goodness, and is part of our obligations as a member of the global community. It remains unclear if the conference has any chance of succeeding, but so long as all enter in good faith, there might still be a chance for peace. So yeah, we'll be Jewish. Amid the right to life description. Yeah, crazy description, guys. The water fields description. I feel like this path is not too, thought out, but that's fine. It's at least different from the Russian path. Also, I have to think a lot less. Just get a good title from it. Making Israel in hoi4. I feel like there's 1,000 videos with that name alone, so. Paramilitary organization has exploded in membership. They've, I'll say, I can just, like, deal with the devil. Meeting begin. Laying bold about his physical things. You'll see, by extension, Italy support Erdogan's takeover of the Levant. In exchange begin. Unite. Became victorious in the Levant. Oh shit. Securing power of the vacuum left Italy. They're trying dictatorial practice. Oppression. So yeah, these are the terrible people. People are just leaving. They're like, I don't want to fucking live here, dude. It's obvious. Segregation, non-Jewish minorities. Oh my goodness. Evil ass Zionist. All of Israel be restored the people of Israel. All of it. Oh, is there no focus though? Oh, dude. What the fuck? Well, that's not the path I'll be doing. So yeah, we're just gonna continue the thing as normal, I guess. Yeah. Because that literally just ended the state. Fierce debate is erupted over the prioritization of water in the Levant countryside. The main subjects being Jewish kibbutzim, agricultural communes, and Arab villages. The case for prioritizing water for kibbutzim is obvious. Agriculture is generally water intensive. However, the Palestinian delegation has lobbied for water to be prioritized to Arab villages. What do you mean they practice their own form of agriculture? So, like, what do you mean if their own form? Like, if they're not really farming and committing to, like, the whole thing in general, I feel like it should go to the people that are actually farming. I don't know. Unless they have, like, a special way. Not for sure. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Dude, I need to stop these decisions. I'm just fucking it up worse. Dude, they're so powerful. We're so fucked, dude. They're taking over the government. But I do know what my thumbnail is going to be. It's going to be the state of Israel.
Cancel the great pattern.
The JRM forms. Our forces in the Levant have been forced into a humiliating retreat. The ANM has successfully instigated a general uprising, turning much of the population against us. Oh god. Okay, give them our support, sure. We're gonna stop us from getting completely destroyed. Fuck. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh fuck. He got assassinated immediately. What was the point of working with him then? They just were pissed at him and just killed him. Agriculture subsidies have been historically used to fund the general modernization of Levant agriculture, fought over by both sides. Who gets the lion's share of the money? Various arguments, such as the relative lack of irrigation in Palestinian farms, or the continued expansion of kibbutzim, have been brought up. Once more, both delegations look at Italy to decide. So if Palestinian farms, though, they lack irrigation, they need the stuff. These guys are just wanting to have better farms, but they already have good farms. I would rather them have some shit. Oh, the JRM, the fighters of Judea. They, at least, yeah, see, they heard a little bit of these guys. Let's go. Now, let me just target them, and then somehow they'll beat me up. We've done it. We defeated the ANM. However, dissident with the de facto military dictatorship and by homeland, if you can keep it. God damn it, I fucked up again. This thing is called literally the Wastelands. What the fuck? Dude, I am so cooked. Fuck. Well, third time's the charm. I'm gonna end the video here because I'm just soft locked. So, this is a much shorter path. I understand why they quit this path because it's buggy as fuck. But, yeah, that will be it for this video. Sorry that it's short and I didn't cover all the content in the path. It just does not work.